Well, mine sounds fine. I got no feedback on that one. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm on. Okay, so we are here live. We're out at Missouri Western here. We're getting started. Second batter stepping into the box. This is Templeton, number 12, for the opposing team, which is the Rawlings Tigers here. Takes a first pitch strike. Once we get things up and running, we'll give you the rundown of where everybody is playing the positions in the field here. Got some changes from the normal lineup. Fouled back out of play. So you're seeing Cooper Horvath is pitching. You got Reed Satterwhite is receiving him right now. And that one misses up for a ball. Counts 1-2. Just missed there. So we're still dealing with a couple little technical difficulties here, getting the audio levels right to try to get both our voices here in this broadcast. Fouled left side. There's room for Boston, who's out there playing third. Good hustle. Makes it to the warning track, but not able to haul that one in. So I'm Kevin Townsend here, and Robert is joining me here in the broadcast in a second while he gets everything going. Got third batter stepping in there is, looks like maybe Lider, L-I-D-E-R? I think that's Lider, and then that puts Templeton on first here. So got one away. No, I said that wrong. I apologize. That's Hughes on first. Templeton just struck out. Lider steps in, swinging, strike one. There we go. Now I'm caught up. Popped up right side. First baseman Zane Valdez ranges over to haul that one in for the second out. That brings up number 14, Evans, for the Rawlings Tigers. Still got to run around first with two away. Called strike. Rocks and fires, but just a little bit outside there. Satterwhite moving good to his right side to make sure that doesn't get by. Level count, 1-1 here. Catches the outside part of the plate for a second strike. Runner is staying pretty close over there at first, so not too big just yet. Little lunging swing and fouled back out of play. Still 1-2 here. Weakly hit ground ball to Boston. Townsend playing third over there, thrown across. Zane hauls it in for the final out of the half inning there. So next half inning, we'll make sure we get you all those positions here. We're hopping in. I didn't realize we were live. I could have given that to you, but I was sort of playing catch up here. But looks like we have our lineup. We got Alex Kilman leading off for MacNSeitz, followed by Boston Townsend and Zane Valdez hitting in that 3 spot. We got Cooper Horvath hitting in the 4 spot, followed by Tucker Lee at the 5th spot. Brooks Carr hitting 6, Cooper McCown hitting 7th, Harrison Perkins hitting 8th, Miles Vaughn in the 9 spot, and our catcher Reed Satterwhite hitting in the 10th spot in our lineup.
Well, folks, I am to the broadcast here with just a couple of technical difficulties as per usual this season. And I tell you what, it's a beautiful day out here for some baseball today. That humidity that we've been struggling with for so long for the last couple of weeks, not quite as much in play today, but beautiful blue skies. Sun's kind of setting out here behind us and pointing back over to the left field side of the ballpark. But a great facility, and we've got Missouri Western University hosting us today, and we are going up against the Rawlings Tigers. So a good first half inning for us, at least defensively, and we'll see if we can't get something going here in bottom of the first.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We've got, like Robert said, great day for baseball. Beautiful facility out here. This field is gorgeous. We got some big dimensions. It's 330 in the corner, so a little bit 5 feet bigger than yesterday. And now, I mean, we really are talking Kaufman dimensions here, 380 to left center and right center. So with 400 dead center, they got a nice batter's eye out there for the hitters so that they're not staring at glowing trees when they're trying to get their timing right.
You bet. And I tell you what, one of the most exciting things is that for the second time in a row, MacNSeitz has that home billing, but we earned this one, right? So we got that number 2 seed in the tournament, and with that number 2 seed, gives us that ability to have that home billing.
Kilman pops it up on the right side. Catcher hustling. That catcher is number 8 Leiter for the Rawlings Tigers, and he's hustling down there but unable to make that catch. So it's strike 1 for Kilman.
Yeah, that was a great pop-up by Leiter there, and he made his way right over to the net. And obviously, as you're approaching that net, you don't know exactly where you're at because you're keeping your eye on the ball. But a good effort right there, unable to come up with it, and Kilman earns another opportunity.
Strike 2 called on the outside part of the plate. Puts Kilman in a hole here early. 2 strikes on him.
That one down the left side, but foul. And so Kilman will have another opportunity. But, you know, really exciting to see MacNSeitz finally playing some really competitive, great baseball in that first matchup that we had yesterday. A run in every inning that we played.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I know we ended up with a tie in that second matchup, and the game called early because the field that we were on had no lights. And so a really great competitive matchup, but MacNSeitz was really kind of on a little bit of a tear there, and I thought we had a good opportunity to get in and maybe take that lead.
Another big foul down the right side. Into the bullpen over there, looks like. He gets another chance here. They got out of play there. Yeah, I agree. We were starting to hit a rhythm. I think that had the game gone a little further, we might have seen a few more runs come across. But we might have gotten into a trouble with some arms, so it's kind of good. Both teams, I heard, had agreed early if it ended in a tie that they would let it end in a tie because they had arm deficits, right? I don't know how the other team agreed to that because that bumped them from the bracket play.
It sure did. And, you know, it ended up in our favor, and you know, it's great to see these boys have that opportunity. I don't know about you, but I know when I was talking to a couple of the players just after the game, everybody was pretty pumped up about feeling confident and going into bracket play.
I think we faced some real stiff competition the last couple of teams, and we're feeling like we're playing right, but it's also nice to be able to see that when you've got a different level of competition and you're not facing super stiff stuff right out of the gate, that you get a chance to see some of what you've got, you know? And we are a competitive team, and we're able to see a lot of that yesterday.
And what an at-bat by Kilman right here. Big fly ball left side, left fielder calling for it, and that will be out number 1, but my goodness, I don't know if that was about a 10-pitch at bat, but Kilman did a fantastic job just keep continuing to battle until he finds one to drive.
Heck yeah, man. That was a QAB if I ever saw one there. So definitely quality all day. And then he put a good swing on it and got it deep. He just got under it a bit.
Well, that's going to bring up number 36, Boston Townsend. Hard hit ball, a diving scoop by.
And he's safe at first.
That's right. The shortstop with a fantastic effort, getting the glove on the ball and making a good throw, but first baseman unable to hold on to it.
Yeah, that was an exceptional play by that shortstop, diving to his right-hand side there, just coming up maybe a little bit off balance, took a little bit off the throw because he was falling a little, trying to, but I don't know. Great effort, great athletic play there.
But Townsend continuing to see the ball well, driving it and putting it into the field, and in between those Valdez now with a gapper.
That'll get Boston on his horse over to third there. Valdez in no man's land between first and second, making sure that Boston can get over there to third. See, this is good base running by MacNSeitz there. Hanging out in no man's land makes them have a couple thoughts about how they're going to throw back, and let your runner get over to third. So we got men on the corners with only one away.
And that'll bring up number 1, Cooper Harvoth. So he looks down to Coach Jake Sawyer out there on the third base side, takes his sign, and now he's in the box.
One misses. First pitch ball there. We got one out already in the inning. We got 2 men on here at the corners, and sitting with a 1-0 count for Cooper. Zane is stealing, and Boston is stealing too. Slides in. Ump calls him out at home. No, ump retracts the call.
And says the catcher was blocking the runner's path. And so there's going to be some conversation here, as you might imagine, between all the different coaching staffs. But what a way for things to kind of transpire. Steele was on over to second. Rawlings Tigers actually throw it down, but then they quickly just throw it home. And on that throw down to second, runner on third came home, and he was successfully tagged out, but that catcher was 100% blocking the home plate.
Yeah, he was. And now you see we've got a crew review here. The 2 umps are getting together to see what they think. It's been asked for by the Rawlings Tigers. So the home plate ump overturned his previous call before, and he upholds the safe call, saying that the catcher was in fact blocking access to the plate. If you all follow Major League Baseball, you understand a lot of those rules have changed recently in terms of how you have to set up on the bags. That has not made its way down to this level yet, but you still can't straddle. You can't have 1 foot on either side of the corner of home plate like that.
And that's a tough play for a catcher to make, right? He's trying to square up to take a good throw. He's got a runner coming in. He knows where that tag needs to be, and so it's kind of a natural position that catchers will post up there. But when it comes down to it, they've changed some of these rules, and some of the reason is for the safety of the athletes.
And the difference really that they're arguing here is not where he ended up making the play, it's where he's set up. Because if the ball naturally takes you into the path of the runner, then you don't have any sort of blocking call here going on. But the fact that he was set up and did not need to move his feet to field that ball is where that call kind of comes from.
Well, and the result right there in the favor of MacNSeitz, now up here early in the first, 1-0.
Runner at second. And Cooper's free swinging there.
So a good-looking curveball. That's number 14 up there on the hill for the Rawlings Tigers. That is Evans.
Misses outside. Zane gets a little big out at second, but thinks better of it.
So just 1 down. That runner on second, Valdez. Harvoth in the box.
And that'll walk him. So still 1 away, 2 runners on now. We got runners at first and second for Tucker Lee, who's stepping into the box, also seeing the ball pretty well right about now.
And this is a great opportunity for a lefty, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Lee, a lefty batter but a righty thrower, he's going to be able to, if he's able to pull that ball, that's a great position in order to advance those base runners over to the left side of the field.
Yep. Those of you that watch the broadcast a lot, you hear us talking about it all the time in this kind of position. Runner on second, you want to get him over to third. We want that ball down the right side of the field. So we sound like broken records sometimes, but that is what the strategy is at this point.
So Lee takes that first one for a strike. Adjusts the helmet, and he's ready to go. Waiting on deck is number 5, Brooks Carr.
No.
So that'll even the count up for Tuck there at 1-1. Watching all this sort of nice interactions in front of us here. I really am enjoying spending a lot of time with this MacNSeitz extended baseball family this summer here. We got a lot of good people around this game all summer long, so it makes it fun to be here.
100%.
So we're 1-2 right now.
Drop third strike. And they get Valdez in a little bit of a pickle. He's got nowhere else to go, and the Rawlings Tigers just need to hold the ball, but instead they continue to throw it around, and oh my goodness.
Wait, what is happening here? This is...
All right, folks. Well, that one is a little bit tough to follow, and we've got another part of the 5-tool staff members down there kind of messing with the net as they're trying to capture some of their own video. I think we might have to move our backstop camera, so you may have missed some of that action. But the long and short was on the drop third strike. Lee went running down to first. Runners tried to advance, and then the catcher, rather than throwing it down to first, tries to get that lead runner. And as opposed to letting Valdez just make his way over to third. When he does, he catches him in a pickle, but then that runner that was on first who didn't need to go, he kind of got caught out there in no man's land as well. And so 2 quick outs in a, maybe not the best base running situation for MacNSeitz.
So you can hear my confusion is more around along the lines of what is this base running situation we just got ourselves in here. The moment you see the catchers go into third, freeze, go back, right? Like you're done. Nobody needs to advance at that point. Somebody's going to be out. It's a mechanical out at third there. There's no tag required.
Absolutely. And so I think I'm going to take a quick audio break here. I'm going to go ahead and adjust our backstop camera because that's how you folks are able to really see and capture most of the movement of the game. We like watching some of these other angles because you get to see the action right there at the plate. But he's kind of posted up right there and is going to keep pulling on that net. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust that. Once again, folks, thanks for joining us here on a beautiful, beautiful, gosh, is it Saturday or Sunday?
It's Saturday.
A beautiful Saturday. We'll be right back with you.
All right, I'll hold down the call for a hot second there. We're going to, on the first base side, or is that where is that where our camera's at right now? Yes, okay. No, you're good. Thank you. So let's see. I think we're number 10. I think that's Fitzpatrick that's in the box there. And Reed moving real well to make sure that one stays in front of him. Strike called there. So round the infield here, we got Reed Satterwhite at catcher. We got Boston Townsend playing third. We got Alex Kilman at short. That one misses up for a ball. We've got Harrison Perkins playing second, and we've got Zane Valdez over at first. In the outfield, you got Cooper McCown in left. You've got Tucker Lee in center, and you've got Brooks Carr holding down right field with Cooper Harvath on the bump. .76-mile-an-hour pitch misses for a ball. Fouled straight back, right over my head here, just to the right side of home plate. So number 10, Fitzpatrick for the Rawlings Tigers, is playing first base, and he's taking ball 4 to become the first base runner of this half inning. That brings up number 3, Lash. Right field here for the Rawlings Tigers. Ground ball to the right side, left side rather, thrown across for a tagged out there. Boston a little bit wide with that throw over to first base, but able to make the tag to get the out. One away, one on at second, and that brings up, it looks like Josh Howard, maybe? A little scribbled. I can't quite tell the last name, but number 11 is the DH for the Rawlings Tigers, stepping in with one away and a runner at second.
Good job.
Misses on the outside for ball one. So we got some people playing positions they don't normally play defensively right now. Called strike makes the count level, 1-1. So you're seeing some people, getting some reps at new positions defensively. We got some guys working on injuries. We got some guys we're trying to save for pitching a little bit later on. Second strike called there. So that's Cooper and Reed working real well to get ahead in the count here. Counts 1-2. Strike three called, looking. Brings up number 4, Walters, the shortstop for the Rawlings Tigers, to step into the box. 2 away, runner on second. Hit to the right side, Perkins fields, throws across to first to make the out. 3 quick outs, no runs score, and that will bring up MacNSeitz hitter Brooks Carr to lead off the next half inning, followed by Cooper McCown and Harrison Perkins. All right, I'm going to hit a little mute here. I don't have the ability to control the music. That's Robert's superpower, so it's just going to be a little quiet for a hot second. Sorry that I'm not keeping up on the graphics in that half inning, also under Robert's control, and I don't want to, overstep my bounds. So I'll say hey to everybody out there, and thanks for tuning in and watching, and then Robert and I will be back with you in just a moment here. Okay. Stepping into the box is Brooks Carr here, getting ready to start second half of the second inning here.
Well, not a bad half inning for Cooper Harvath right there.
Yeah, some good defense behind him there. Brooks takes first pitch strike. Yeah, good defense there. A couple maybe almost problems there. Boston throws a little wide there, but able to get the tag down and get out of the inning quick with no damage. Fouled behind of late to the left there.
A lot of times you don't have those clean innings, but when you're able to get out of an inning where everything's not as crisp and as clean as you want, you still just kind of walk away with, hey, we had a good inning. Maybe not the way everybody looks at it, and I certainly understand. This one goes right up the middle, and that's going to get through the infield for a single.
Brooks throws the barrel at that one. Not the prettiest swing I've seen from him, but he managed to put it in play in a really great location.
Absolutely, and that gets things started for MacNSeitz as number 44, Cooper McCown, steps into the box.
So Brooks stays hot, man. He had a good day yesterday and continues to get on base today. His on-base percentage climbing, I'm sure.
That one missing outside for McCown.
Throw back, no tag, no slide there. A little risky, but everything ends well. Driven into the ground there, foul by Cooper.
Yeah, that'll now make it a 1-1 count, right?
Should be.
Yeah. So the guy that is actually doing the scoreboard is actually controlling the music, doing the scoreboard, and doing the video for 5 Tool. And so he's kind of got his hands full, much in the same way that we do.
Yeah. That's that one missed outside for another ball. So he's not doing the balls and strikes on the outfield. Another foul back for Cooper. So we're left to either our own memory here, or I'm pulling up Game Changer, so we have a little assist from Josh's scorekeeping there. 2-2 is what he has the count at. That matches what I'm seeing.
Pickoff attempt over at first, and Carr not really that far off of first, but Rawlings Tigers wanted to make sure that they're keeping him over there.
Might have been a little bit of a belly flop there. He didn't look like he liked that landing too much. Looked like a little bit of pain in the back there on that one. 3-2. Counts full. Action count here for Cooper McCown. That one misses low, puts him on. So runners at first and second, nobody away here in the bottom half of the second.
So Evans giving up a single and then followed up by a walk. Still nobody down. That'll bring up number 7, Harrison Perkins. Harrison takes his signal from coach over there at third, and the runners take their lead. Of course, Evans working from the stretch. Coming set and checks on the runner.
Ooh, called strike there on that bunt attempt by Perkins. I'm not sure if that's because he didn't pull it back or because it actually came in as a strike. There's a lot of movement going on with the bat there, so I'm not sure why it was called a strike. But
it elicited a little ooh from me, but I thought that was a good ball for Perkins to try to lay down.
He does go and runs into the tag over there at third. So first out of the inning is made over at third base. That's one of those rules of baseball you don't like to have happen, right? You don't want to make your first or last out on third base. If you got a runner in scoring position, he's already in scoring position. So I like the aggressiveness. Not sure that that was the best time to commit all the way when the bunt didn't get down.
Well, big looping curveball, and Perkins did everything he could to try to get that one down. He takes that last pitch for strike 3.
Brings in Miles Vaughn to the box, our big lefty here.
Well, and doggone it for MacNSeitz here. I think this is one of those situations where you started out, you have a single and a walk, nobody down, and a couple of miscues, and now very much a different half inning, 2 down and a runner on second.
Vaughn, active take there, but it called ball. Yeah, it changes the gameplay, right? We're trying to move the runners here and get them into scoring position and end up running into a couple of quick outs there because of those attempts. Ball gets by the catcher there for a passed ball, and it'll end up with Cooper standing on third. Catcher pump fakes there to keep him glued a little closer, maybe.
Well, that ball definitely carrying off of the catcher, and that really got away a pretty decent distance, rather, and a deep backstop here.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a diagonal bounce here, you got a 15, 20 feet that you got to make up. Connects with the low part of the zone there. Miles watching that one come by. Strike. 2-1 count for Vaughn.
Ooh, and a slow ball call right there, but I thought he was thinking about a strike, wasn't he?
His hand was moving for a strike call, and they could hear our coach, no way, it's not a strike. 3-1 is the count officially here. Miles hacking, 3-2. Miles fouls it straight back there. 69-mile-an-hour pitch, and Miles is on that one. Let's see if he can hang in there and get that timing right to drive that one right up the middle. Misses wide there. And again, the Catcher looks the runner back over to third. That brings up Reed Satterwhite with runners on the corners and 2 away.
Well, looks like the Rawlings Tigers coaching staff wanting to take a quick visit out here to the mound. I don't know. He kind of looked like he was making some signals out there to the dugout. And I don't know if there's going to be some defensive substitutions or pitching change.
Yeah, the 2 signals that I just saw was catching and top of the lineup here. We're about to turn our corner, so I think he's just making sure his players know what to do when we turn that corner on the lineup, maybe, if should Reed end up on base. So, see what Satterwhite does here in this at-bat, and see if we can make something happen. Runners at the corners here.
Ball in play, and that's over to third base. Thought it had a chance to get over his head, but he collects that for out number 3.
Little loop and hit there and hauled in, but I mean, making good contact, right location, you know, that's a good spot for the ball. Just need a little bit more on that to get it over that third baseman's head.
Yep, you bet. Well, MacNSeitz leaves 1 stranded right there, but we had a couple on base. And I tell you what, it's one of those things where I think that's some of the what we saw yesterday is that in those situations we were more consistently getting those guys across the plate.
Yep, I think this 2 weekends ago maybe that was one of the notes that Boston came back in the ride back, and it's like we left too many runners on in scoring positions, you know, and taking full accountability for himself in that situation too is like I need to be better in that situation, right? Like that's and it is one of the places he focuses on a lot as a team player, right? Like this is if they've gotten on, it's my job to get them in. And I'm sure he's not the only one out there. He's just the only one I have regular conversations with to be able to relay it.
Absolutely, and you know, it's interesting because I know these guys talk about that a lot. They talk about it in the dugout, they talk about it before, and after the games. They, of course, have a team group text string, I think it is, or it might be his group me, whatever it might be, but they're using technology, and they're talking about the games, and they're talking about, you know, who's doing what and when and how they can get better.
Yeah, I think it's really important that it comes from them a lot of the time, right? It's great to get the notes from the coach, but when it comes from you and you're able to start to see how you need to improve or what you need to focus on, that's a different era of baseball playing for you, right? You get to start to be the real voice in your head instead of that one that thinks, oh, I'm the best out here, or oh, I'm the worst out. You get to get that balance, right, in your objective opinion of yourself. So this is number 7, Adams, who is their third baseman for the Rawlings Tigers, taking the first pitch strike there. Swinging strike number 2. Satterwhite not able to hang on to it, but no harm there.
So Harvoth working from the stretch. Ball in play over to first, but goes foul just before the base.
0-2 count for the hitter right now, Adams.
This one over to second, and that is going to be good for out number 1. As Harrison Perkins is able to scoop that one up, make a nice throw over.
Cooper able to work himself into another fieldable ground ball there.
And looking pretty crisp, you know. It's interesting looking at these guys, and we talked about it before, about whether guys are going to pitch from that windup or whether they're going to go from that stretch. And looks like Harvoth electing to go from the stride right here.
Hard hit up the middle. Perkins Fields throws across and for the out. Excellent job by Zane Valdez holding the bag there on that throw that's just a little bit away. Valdez working hard over at first to be able to scoop and grab everything that's in his little orbit there. But 2 quick outs.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't tell if that ball had actually touched or grazed the glove of Harvoth as he kind of reached up, or maybe he stepped out of the way, but Perkins able to come up with it.
Strike 1 at 63 miles an hour. So dropped down that MPH there and caught him frozen on that first pitch there. Nice job there. This looks like it's number 6, Ordonez there. Swing and miss. for strike number 2.
Looked like maybe they made a substitution.
Oh,
This is the top.
15.
This is the top
Okay.
of the order here. Number 15, Hughes.
Okay. Sorry about that. I must have missed somebody in that mix. I apologize, gang.
You know, I think I did that twice yesterday, and not that I ever make a mistake.
Foul ball right side. Valdez moving really well to his left there to get that, but still called foul.
Well, we're having a heck of a time with that back stop camera, folks, so we'll just keep toggling back and forth here between what we have.
Hard hit right side. And fielded by Perkins again for the 3rd out. So heading into the second half of the 3rd inning here, the bottom of the 3rd. Still a relatively low-scoring game. I mean, very low-scoring game. It's 1-0 here right now. Gotta imagine the small ball might come into play a little bit when you start to see some of this low-scoring kind of games. I feel like that's the times when I see Coach Sawyer go to that small ball approach to try to scratch a couple runs off, or to get a couple good men on and get some moving.
You bet, and I think that's exactly what Coach was looking at this last half inning. Didn't quite pan out the way that maybe we had hoped, but I imagine it's been working for us in this tournament, and I think that we're going to continue to go to it, until we maybe get a little bit more of a margin, and then maybe a little bit more free swinging. But
we are coming around to the top of our lineup here with Kilman, Townsend, and Valdez in the 1-2-3 spot here. So it's a clean start, and so. These first couple of hitters might have a chance to be free swinging, and then you might see some of that small ball coming into play again once you get some men on. Still the same pitcher, looks like. Still Evans out there on the bump. Yep, and it looks like they still have Leiter behind the dish there.
I'll tell you what, this last half inning, Harbaugh ended up with 3 batters and 3 ground balls.
Yeah.
And so kind of just working 1, 2, 3, and great to see MacNSeitz defensively be there for him. Perkins having 3 opportunities right there, takes care of all of them.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that Zane is over there just scooping everything in is super helpful right now. He's just being Spider-Man over there on first. Kilman first pitch swinging, and it's a big fly down the right side, in foul territory and into the bullpen. Not playable there. So it'll go down as a long strike there.
I don't know what we've got going on here with my scoring overlay, but the batter right now is going to be shown on your screen as Reed Satterwhite, but that is Alex Kilman. As I'll try to work through the software into this.
He's sitting at a 1-1 count right now, that first foul, and then just took 1 for a ball there. So count level for him. Nobody away, nobody out just yet. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Kilman.
There we go.
Foul back there, 66 miles an hour, right back into the catcher's mask, it looked like, maybe.
I tell you what, Kilman on his first AB, man, I don't know, maybe a 10-pitch effort right there, but we talked about that quality at-bat type of metric, and, as you get older into these higher ages in high school, that's some of those things that coaches really look at.
Yeah. And, I mean, Kilman's a solid hitter, right? He's been putting the ball in play a lot. Hit to the left side, thrown across for the out. Yeah, but if you can add quality at bats and a higher on base percentage, take your walks, and you're also average looking good. You're coming up with big hits and clutch situations. That's real appealing to a coach. Boston Townsend steps into the plate with 1 away. Hard hit down the left-hand side, but foul out of play.
Well, he definitely got a hold of that one. I'm sure he wishes he had that back just to wait maybe a 16th of a second longer, and that ends up for extra bases. But well-hit ball and just foul.
Takes the second pitch for a strike on the outside part of the plate. I think he had a take call on. He looked back at Coach Jake Sawyer. I think he just assumed he wasn't going to get something to hit that time. Boston loops one into the infield, or just over the infield rather, and gets down for a base hit.
I'll tell you what, that was a great piece of hitting. It was definitely kind of jammed him up on the inside, but he battled that one to make it go where it went.
Really, to stay through it I mean, that came in quite a bit slower too, so really staying through that ball to keep it up the middle instead of pulling it over to that shortstop.
Well, that brings up hot hitting number 35, Zane Valdez.
Last night's player of the game for game number 1, according to 5Tool.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I know when we were out in Fayetteville, I think we had a couple of games where they weren't able to get out there and have the personnel to be able to select that for us. But exciting to see that. And I tell you what, Valdez had a heck of a game, pitched his butt off, and I think he had a 2-hit night with a couple of RBIs, right?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. So rightly owning that title.
This one over to first base. Oh my goodness!
Thought the out was made. He's there on third. So the pickle results in Boston ending up on third base. I don't know if he thought that was 2 outs and that was making the third out, or if he thought he had that the double play had already been turned there. Either way, that is a base running error by Boston Townsend that turned into no error and was standing on third. So good for him for making some lemonade there.
Well, Valdez will reach. Well, no, he did not reach, right?
No, he did not. So that's 2 away. Cooper is taken on the outside part of the plate there for ball 1. So runner on third in Boston, Townsend. We got Cooper Horvath in the batter's box, fouling that one away for 1-1 count.
Well, obviously the 2 outs kind of takes out that small ball equation and some of the bunting that we've had, but Horvath having a good RBI opportunity right here as Townsend takes his lead from third.
Catcher's up in a high stance, probably looking to try to back pick, but third baseman's not moving in. So I think, they're trying to keep Boston glued to third base there and make sure that on a pass ball, maybe they got a little better opportunity to get him.
Well hit ball over to short as he backhands. And is able to make that throw for out number 3.
Not a very confident effort, I would say, by the second baseman there to not hurry up and make that throw. Got him feet underneath him and threw the ball.
You bet. Well, folks, we're going to take a short audio break here. We're going to try to make a couple of adjustments to these cameras that the nets are giving us a little bit of trouble with, but we appreciate you guys watching us as always.
Somebody's trying to help with an assist. Oh, here we go. Take a look at that center field camera there. I'm going to go on mute here. All right, we're back. Looks like that is number 12. That should be Templeton in the box there. The center fielder for the Tigers hits it out to the center fielder for a base hit.
So good looking stroke for him as he gets a leadoff single. And that'll bring up number 8, Leiter. Modest lead over at first, nobody out. Called strike.
So decent secondary from the runner Templeton out there on first base. So I got to imagine Satterwhite, you're going to see him in a slightly higher stance. Another one stroked to center field. Tucker Lee hauls that one in. As Templeton goes back for the tag, one away.
Well, you can certainly see as that sun begins to set just behind us, but you're sitting here looking at it as a left fielder, possibly a center fielder, and definitely third base and shortstop. You're staring straight into that sun.
That one gets by Satterwhite, and that will put Templeton on second. That's a ball there, and in the box right now is the pitcher for the Tigers, number 14, Evans. So it gives them a runner in scoring position with only one away.
Well, in a tight affair here so far, 1-0 in favor of MacNSeitz.
Straight down to the bottom of the zone there for that one, missing for another ball, 2-0.
And near miss right there, but that'll make it a 3-0 count.
So far, MacNSeitz managing to clean up their mess when they runners on and not allowing anything to scratch its way across. Big secondary lead out there, called strike. He was straight taken all the way, hoping to get that runner over, but ball was a little too quick to Satterwhite to be able to make that steal possible.
Well, he earns a free one right there, and that'll put runners on first and second. And that'll bring up big number 10, Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, first baseman for the Tigers, one of the bigger guys on their team. So got to imagine you want your outfield playing a couple steps back here, making sure that nothing's by them. Minimize that damage. Satterwhite trying to catch that inside corner for his pitcher, but not able to, so that's a ball.
Well, not a lot of adjustment by the outfield right there that I could see.
Fouled straight back. That'll wreak some havoc with that camera down there.
Yeah, I think we're just going to have to end up moving that one altogether. Got a couple of them here with a little bit of a different view.
Swing and a miss for strike.
Well, Fitzpatrick takes a long moment right there. I think he really, really wanted that one. I think he kind of shook his head to himself like, man, I just missed one.
Yeah, he swung right over the top of that one, so. Off speed freezes him, but does not get the strike call. It's an excellent pitch at the top of the zone, but umpire doesn't think that one was a strike.
No, I think Fitzpatrick definitely looking for that fastball.
Breaking ball there thrown. Should bring the count to full, I believe, here. Swing and a miss.
And a great sequence right there by Harbaugh. Really kind of working the pitch count and got Fitzpatrick reaching.
2 away, 2 on, and we are here in the early part of the fourth. That one spiked into the ground. Satterwhite with a chance to make it out. Over at third. So Satterwhite to Townsend catches that runner stealing for the third out.
How about that?
Catcher to catcher connection.
Gotta love it. You know, the throw actually wasn't actually perfect. It was off the back base a little bit to the right, but I thought Townsend made a great adjustment getting to it and then getting that glove down quickly, and runner was out.
Ball actually coming into the cutout a little bit more than on the bag, but man, like you said, great adjustment there on the fly. You know that catcher does not have the best lane to throw down to third if the batter holds his box, but Satterwhite came up and did what he could with it, and Boston helped on the other half.
And got rid of it quick, too,
yep.
Right? And I think that was kind of the key because Satterwhite really did. And I think you're 100% right. And I'm sure you see this and talk about it with Boston, and maybe more than I even tend to look at it. But not having that perfect angle. But, man, that was a great little play for MacNSeitz. And, again, to your point, we got out of another inning.
Yeah, we're getting ourselves out of sticky situations here. We're coming back again to another good spot in our lineup here. We've got guys that have been productive for us in the past, getting ready to step into the box. So defense is clicking. we can get that offense going and get a little bit more cushion here. But so far, really tight contest. So well-matched teams here. We're 2 and 4 seed, I think, technically, is what this game is. So you'd expect to see, pretty well-matched competition here. And that's exactly what we're getting. So looks like we got Tuck Lee coming in to lead things off this inning, followed by Brooks Carr and Cooper McCown.
Well, we are playing in the five-tool Missouri Western Showdown, folks. And I tell you what, it's been a good one. When we look at the pool play and all the standings and everything, one of the things that was notable to me was that the Rawlings Tigers allowed the fewest runs out of all the teams in pool play. And so looking to kind of continue with that same type of effort right here, only giving up 1 to MacNSeitz right now.
Yeah, Tuck taking that off speed for the first ball of the at-bat. Driving that one up the middle, and that'll get down for a base hit. And Tuck Lee with a leadoff single. So I think, was it the 4th inning of the first game that he got his single last night too, maybe? It was either 4th or 5th inning. I don't know. Either way, Tucker continuing to be productive for us in these sort of middle innings of our contest. Brooks takes that one for a strike down the middle.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Sawyer is able to come up with right here. And so you got some pretty decent speed over there on first. Brooks, another lefty, right? And nobody down.
Called strike, top part of the zone. I'm not sure that that's been a strike very often, but today, in that moment, he liked it for a strike. So,
yeah, not one that Brooks is going to want to be called a strike very often. And a good-looking pickoff attempt over there at first for a close one, but Lee's able to come up safe.
Yes, sir. We've seen Carr lay down a bunt before. Does not look like that's the case here. It looks like they're going to let him hit to get that. Hey,
Tucker Lee.
And it's dropped. So Tuck Lee's going to end up, and it's dropped at first. So we got 2 errors there on the play. We got a catching error and a fielding error. That'll put Brooks Carr on first, and again, you see him sort of grabbing his back. I think he's taken a couple of bumps and bruises so far in this game, but we got 2 quick errors.
Well, now there's some more conversation by the coaching staff from the Rawlings Tigers with the home plate and now base umpire.
So that ball went out and foul off the glove of the pitcher. It did not bounce on the grass before going foul. I don't know if that's what they're arguing, saying it's a foul ball because it went out. But yeah, it was definitely knocked foul by the pitcher in that case.
Well, definitely a little serendipity for MacNSeitz right there, because Tucker Lee was on the steal, and he was already rounding second and heading over to third, even as Evans coming off the bump right there. I thought he had that ball.
I thought that was going to be a double play situation for
100%. And so a little piece of luck, and runners on the corners, just 1 down.
Yeah, catcher doing some big work out there, acting like a curator and framing the heck out of that one. Not getting the call, though.
Now, my mistake there, nobody down, because obviously Tucker Lee was the one who led off, and then followed by Carr, and now Cooper McCown at the plate.
Yeah, so we got a single and a reached on error here. 2 runners on in the corners, and it's a great opportunity for Cooper to put something in play here and see what happens. Left side, hard hit, down for a single.
Well, McCowan finds a little green grass for an RBI single, and that'll put MacNSeitz up 2-0.
So this is one of those things, man. This is that team at bat, right? Don't get too big here, right? You get too big in this moment. You got a big fly ball and an out, and then you're risking that tag to get the runner across here. Just trust your mechanics and hit the ball and over the head of the infield and down for a single there.
Well, in the second mound visit for Evans now, with the Rawlings Tigers coach out there on the bump, talking to his infield and talking with his pitcher. Boys having a lot of excitement and energy coming out of the dugout right there, and I think they felt like Evans was getting ready to get pulled. But contrary to that, he stays up there on the bump and will continue to work.
This is always the interesting part, the different coaching styles, how they want to work with their pitchers, how they want to get them over their hurdles. You know, maybe he's not seeing anything mechanical going wrong here. These are just good hits getting put in play over the infielder's head. The pitcher's pitching really well right now, managing the strike zone and really double play opportunity there, successfully completed by the Tigers that time around. Line drive to the second baseman, thrown across to the first baseman for the double play.
Well, and as that coin turns, right? So a little bit of luck for MacNSeitz there earlier, and putting the runners on the corners, but a hard hit ball by Perkins, and doggone it, no opportunity for the runners to get back to base.
So that brings up Miles Vaughn with 2 away and a runner in scoring position. So if he can get on time here, this is that pitcher sitting in the mid-60s. That is one of those velocities that typically induces some weaker kinds of contact, some ground balls, and hitters really got to bring a lot of their own energy to get that ball deep into the outfield here. And so what you're seeing is these line drives and these sort of short singles here, sort of par for the course with a guy that's throwing like this style.
Yeah, you bet. And it's as we look at Miles Vaughn right now, he fouled that one out left side, and the pitchers are giving you. So outer half of the plate, he's a left-handed batter, and he's just going to go with it. And so that one went out to left field versus trying to pull it and bring it over to your strong side.
Vaughn takes that one. Got a good look at that one, catching the outside part of the plate. That was sort of the top outside corner there. Counts 2-2 for Vaughn. 2 away, runner on second. We got deuces everywhere. Vaughn, I'm guessing the call must have been 3-2, and I was wrong there. Sorry about that. I thought that was a 2-2 count, but it was a 3-2 count, which puts Miles on with a walk.
Well, that's going to bring up number 21, Reed Satterwhite.
Are they saying hit by pitch? They're saying that hit his back foot. It was my count was correct. It was a hit by pitch.
Yeah, I thought I was way behind as well, and so that's a good catch right there. Folks, when we have our headsets on and we're kind of sitting a little away from the action, we're not able to catch some of those subtleties all the time. Sometimes, obviously, when a guy is getting hit by a pitch, a little bit more obvious, but Miles Vaughn, big, strong kid, just almost unfazed.
I didn't notice until he grabbed his ankle as he got to first there. Catcher for the Tigers doing a nice job of trying to pull that out, that sort of top corner down. Not getting the call on the first pitch, so counts 1-1 right now. But just as a fan of catchers in general, I liked that particular action on that particular pitch there that I saw. Still, he's working back there, trying to get that for his pitcher. Still not quite successful. Reception on that one not as clean as maybe the first attempt, but still, he's working. It's pitcher-catcher batteries are really fun for me to watch and see how they try to get their outs or collect their strikes. And this is up for that one. Brings us to a nice hitters count here for Reed with a 3-1 count.
You bet. And looking at the infield, kind of position-wise, these guys are very deep, kind of playing that double play depth. At third base, maybe even with the bag. And Satterwhite takes that one over the outer half for strike number 2.
So we got some action guaranteed here on this particular pitch. We got a 3-2 count with 2 runners on.
Come on, Reed! Let's go 2-1!
Ball in play right over to first, and that'll be out number 3. So a quick audio break here, folks. I'm going to try to fix a couple of these cameras. I think that it drives me a little bit crazy not being able to bring you better shots of the game. So quick pause here. Once again, thanks for joining us.
All right back to the action after some scheduled maintenance on the cameras there.
Like a pit crew over here, NASCAR. It's just some skilled professionals bringing it to you.
I think this is number 3, Lash, for the Rawlings Tigers. Nope, it is not. I am wrong. That looked like it. So I'm wondering if they made a substitution somewhere along the line, because that is number 9, and I don't have him over here. So it's Scott is the name. And I'm guessing he's come in for Lash and is playing right field, so we'll see what's going on there. But I'm guessing that's an offensive substitution. I didn't notice if he was playing outfield in the last half. 4-pitch walk.
Yeah, it's so Harvath really throwing a great game so far, just not allowing any runs. So 2-0 is our score right now. We are in top of the 5th. And so with just 4 innings of work, no runs allowed.
Looks to be number 11, Josh Howard, the DH for the Rawlings Tigers here, with a runner on first and nobody out yet.
Ball in play, this one over to short. And out at second and safe at first. Did he change his call? He did. I totally missed how.
I am not sure what just happened there, but yeah, reversing his call and saying out at first.
Interference.
Gotcha. So he, the old school baseball there of the runner going into second, trying to interfere with the double play there. So you'll still see that in the majors. They got to slide, but they don't have to put their hands down. So the guys like Judge that are big, they're sliding with their arms straight up in the air because it sort of gets the best of both worlds, right? I'm getting out of the way, but I'm still kind of in the way. Not allowed at this level. That's the shortstop Walters in the box there with the bases clean, popped up to the right side. Valdez hauls it in for the 3rd out. Real quick inning there, despite the leadoff walk.
And so once again, MacNSeitz working their way out of what could have been a really good beginning for an inning for the Rawlings Tigers. And I tell you what, it's for whatever reason we're able to find those outs where we need it. And the Rawlings Tigers, of course, leave another one stranded.
I think the pitching right now is eliminating that long ball. Right, we're getting a lot of pop-ups and weak grounders, a lot of them to the right side here all day long. Second baseman Perkins getting a workout. Him and Valdez over there. We've had one maybe to the left-hand side of the infield, and man, they're just knocking it down, and then taking advantage of mistakes on the base paths when they're the caught stealing or just some heads-up baseball to sort of keep things clean and not allowing any runs to come across so far.
Well, still a close one here, just 2-0, and obviously you can see runs in bunches out here at this level or any level for that matter. So a tight one, but right now feeling like MacNSeitz somewhat in control, and now to start here for the bottom of the 5th is going to be the top of our order and Alex Kilman.
Yeah, and we're like you just said, top of the 5th, and we're starting the 3rd time through our lineup right now, so we are definitely moving the guys through here.
Yeah, and not a bad effort here by number 14 Evans, who's been pitching for the Rawlings Tigers. I tell you what, outside of that one error that he made on that little pop-up, I thought it was a great effort by him. Didn't go his way, and then it was followed up by another error, and so that kind of compacted a couple of things. But other than that, only giving up 2 runs in 5 innings of work.
Yeah, I mean, good baseball being played by both teams here right now. Of course, we like seeing it go our way, but always a pleasure to watch good baseball as opposed to a comedy of errors out there.
Well, this is Kilman. He takes that first one on the outside corner.
So I've been remiss in my video duties here, getting caught up in the call a little bit in the beginning of the game and trying to get all the cameras right and going. So now I'm back trying to help get some video for the social media for the guys, but our position is allowing me to stay on the broadcast, and I love it. AK fouls that one straight down into the ground.
Good looking swing right there. That sun continuing to set a little bit lower in the sky, just at our back, and you'll see those shadows begin to continue casting farther and farther out there onto the field.
He bounces in for a ball. Yeah, we are entering the golden hour, and it is quite pretty out here right now in terms of the quality of light.
And I think the big thing is, in particular for fielding positions, is trying to see that ball off the bat. Well hit ball
over the head of the left fielder for some extra bases here. Fielded well, thrown back to the third baseman to limit it to a double. That left fielder not feeling too happy. You can see him pounding the ground out there in left field, or maybe you can, but I certainly can see him, so I'll let you know what's happening there.
Yeah, I think, and that's just what I was getting ready to say, is that seeing that ball off the contact off of the bat and just losing a second or two, even though you're able to pick up that ball, that can really create that type of situation. And he just misread that ball. It ended up being a little bit deeper, and I think it had to do with possibly not seeing that ball cleanly off the bat.
That's right. And I think we've seen this pitcher now for, we're in the fifth inning. Same pitcher all the way through, so the guys are aware of his pitch mix. They have a little bit better of a sense of which one they want to hit. And those two things stacked up means you get to maybe drive the ball a little bit deeper, and maybe you got a little bit of sun in the game to assist you. In that case, clearly just over the head. Outfielder's first step always got to be back in these kind of situations.
Well, that brings up number 36, Boston Townsend. Ball on that first pitch.
Second pitch misses as well for a quick 2-0 count. You got nobody out. You got a runner on second. In scoring position, and Kilman out there. Boston, tiny shimmy today into the plate. Foul back there. Timing just a little bit off, doing everything he can to try to get the bat on that and make something happen.
Well, and this is that kind of situation where we were talking about. So small ball versus like, hey, free swinging, right?
Yep.
And so nobody down, runner on second. Maybe a good situation to kind of let a guy who's been seeing the ball so well go ahead and free swing.
Yep. Does look like he's got that ability right now based on that last swing. So he's now 2-2. I got to expect we're going to see a B swing approach here. You're going to see him take away the leg kick in the front foot. He's going to spread out and get a little wide and still try to get everything he can to it. So you're seeing he's a little bit more closed right now in his stance. It means he's looking right side. Weakly hit off the end of the bat, but should get the runner over.
And not a great turn of events for MacNSeitz as Townsend puts that one in play, but the Rawlings Tigers do a good job getting that ball over to first for the easy out, and then Kilman thrown out, trying to make his way over to third on that throw to first.
Yeah, timing, just a little bit of a timing question there, right? Like they did a great job looking him back over there in that little weak ground ball, and so he didn't get the jump he needed to get, and the decision to go ended up costing in the end. So in a close ball game, that's one of those things. Of course, you're getting aggressive, trying to make something happen, but having him standing on second right now would be a little bit of a better situation for us, of course.
Especially with Valdez up at the plate, and we've been talking about, kind of where we're at in that order and things. I think when you look at that, and Kilman takes that opportunity to take a look at where he was at positionally, I'm sure he's already knows it, and he's talking about it with the guys in the dugout.
Yep. It is, but the lineup's been changing a lot, right? So the guys out on the base don't necessarily know or always have that burned into their brain about who's coming up and what they're been doing. Valdez, hard hit ball left side, down for another base hit. Big turnaround first, but he'll take the long single here. So
Zane continuing his hot hitting ways, and great to see him swinging the bat. Here I think early in this summer season, maybe not seeing the ball so well consistently right from the very beginning. Doing an outstanding job up there on the bump for MacNSeitz when he's had those opportunities, but great to really see him start to come around and do what we know he can do with the bat.
Yeah, the thing that's great about it right now is he's been getting fed a lot of off-speed pitches in the mix, right? And he's been able to stay on them and stay through them really, really well. That's one of the things you saw Boston's at bat. Some of the other guys, the weak hits, they're a little early on the contact there, and then just trying to put the ball in play. Valdez seeing the ball really well, and both the fastball and the off speed, and putting both in play pretty well.
Absolutely. Well, the Rawlings Tigers making a pitching change here. And that'll do it for Evans as he makes his way out to applause from the Rawlings fans. And that's going to bring up number 15 as we take a look at our lineup here, and that's going to be Hughes coming in to pitch for the Rawlings Tigers.
I'm taking advantage of our angle here and realizing I don't need to stand in the sun. I can get everything I need to get from a seated position because we're so elevated up here. Nice. So again, we're going to be stuck in that. We got a little bit more over the top of the delivery, but we're going to be another off-speed pitcher. Oof. That's going to be tough to be able to get on time with for our guys there, I think.
Well, and a little bit of a change, too, because you're bringing in a lefty. And so from a velocity spectrum, nothing that's going to blow you away or wow you, but definitely kind of giving you a little bit of a different look. It will be Cooper Harvoth when Hughes is done warming up.
Fast body, slow hand here. He's got a sort of a hurry up to slow down kind of delivery, which is going to be really, a timing menace for the first couple of hitters, or first couple of pitches at least. He does have 70s in his pocket, so he's got a 20-mile-an-hour difference between his off-speed and that fastball right there. So 52, 54-mile-an-hour off-speed, and that 72, 73-mile-an-hour fastball if he can control it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm sitting here watching his arm slot, and when he's throwing that fastball, just slightly different than when he's throwing his off-speed. And that's something that you'll see from a lot of young guys still learning that craft and not quite capturing that tunneling that I know all guys really, really try to work towards. A lot easier said than done at times, but I can certainly see that here a little bit as he's a little bit more over the top with that fastball, a little bit lower in that carry-through on his off-speed.
And our guys are talking about that in the dugout. That is. I mean, if you stand next to, it's not just our team. You stand next to a team of guys this age, and they're getting the intel after they come back and letting you know what you're looking for in terms of the pitch to drive from each pitcher here.
So Valdez close to the bag over there on first. And Harvoth fouls that one back for strike one. So Valdez, a lefty himself, and kind of understanding that leadoff from first base.
Yep.
We got two down.
Takes for a strike at the upper part of the zone, so there's that 70-mile-an-hour fastball we talked about.
Yeah, Harvoth with a look over there to Coach Sawyer, kind of a shrug of the shoulders, like, hey, that wasn't mine. But that one right there is, and he puts a big one into play over at center field. Sorry, I stepped all over you.
That's all fine with me. But yeah, you got the timing right and was able to drive one. Just happened to have an atom ball.
Yeah, he's got to be feeling good about that, and then of course feeling good about his pitching performance so far. Not giving up any runs to the Tigers. That's going to take us to top of the sixth. You'll see over here on your screen that the Rawlings Tigers are meeting as a team right out here outside the dugout. You'll see this happens quite a bit when teams are trying to really lock in and try to get some energy going. They know that this is coming down to the wire, and they've got just two more opportunities here to do something with.
That's right. Our pitch count's been really good right now to this point. I haven't looked again in a minute, but I can give you that update here and let you know where we're at here in terms of our pitching so far.
Well, typically we've gone over the defensive positioning, and we've got Harvoth, of course, working on the bump, and he's hurling over there to Reed Satterwhite working behind the dish. Townsend over there on third base, Kilman at short, Harrison Perkins at second, Zane Valdez at first. Parker Simons now defensively out there in the right field, and Tucker Lee in center, and Cooper McCowan out there in left. So that is going to bring up top of the sixth inning, and that is number 7 for the Rawlings Tigers.
So Coop's sitting right at 63 pitches. Now that the inning is officially flipped, I can actually see that data again. And you're seeing our conference out there, a little defensive huddle out there. How are we going to hold these guys here at this point?
Well, 53 pitches in 5 innings of work as we're just beginning the 6th inning. That's some pretty good pitch efficiency, and you can go deeper into a ball game when you have that kind of efficiency.
This number 7 Adams hitting for the Tigers. Popped up here. It's one. Who's calling it? Satterwhite ends up taking it. It's in his little bubble. Townsend and Coop both running in there. Satterwhite calling him off and not able to make the play in that situation.
Man, that's one of those frustrating ones. I'm sure Satterwhite would love to have that one back. You know, there's so much more about catching a pop fly when you're a catcher. You've got all that gear on. You're moving around with it. You got to, of course, get that face mask off so you can have real good view using your eyes. But so much topspin typically, or backspin rather, on those shallow pop-ups like that.
Yeah, and then out here playing in Kansas and western Missouri the way we are, we also got wind. And so you get into that upper atmosphere, and in this case we got a building that's sitting, 30 feet above home plate. Hard hit. Oh, I'm sorry. Popped up to the left side, right side. Man, I can't get my up, down, left, right there. But Valdez hauled it in. First baseman rages back to make the play.
Well, we can't get it right, but Valdez does, right? And so that's what's important right there, and that is good for out number one. And so one of those great things, it's frustrating when you miss an opportunity on an out right there, but MacNSeitz coming up with it anyway.
So this is that situation we were looking to see who the hitter is going to be right here. I didn't see the jersey number. Mistakenly thought that there was an Ordonez in this spot in the order last time, and not sure if that is Hughes or Ordonez in
I think that was Hughes that was up just last.
Okay. That's number 19, so they've clearly made another substitution. So that's Cecil is who's hitting there. Not sure who he's hitting for. If he's hitting, so 15 was the leadoff there. Hughes was leadoff. Is that right?
Well, you know what? Hughes is on deck. So.
Okay, so this is in that weird spot. So this is an extra hitter that they didn't have in the lineup last time around.
Yeah, that little lineup card that we got, a little trouble with it. Actually, we had our official scorekeeper, Josh Carr, come up, and he asked us after the first inning, or after one of the innings, right?
A little swinging bunt there, but goes foul. Yeah.
And so I think he had a little bit of a small issue there too. But regardless of that, that is number 19 up at the plate. And so that is going to be, just like you said, Cecil.
Comes down to the ground, dribbles away from Satterwhite there, but no harm, no runners on at the moment, so relaxed effort to haul that one in.
You can kind of see the bills of the caps for all these guys down just a little bit further on their foreheads than normal as they combat this sun coming down.
Full count popped up here for us. Oh, our tent almost got in the game there. Count stays 3-2.
Well, I tell you what, yesterday, a couple of really good pitching efforts by Zane Valdez, of course, and then Alex Kilman in that game number 2. Really is kind of what put MacNSeitz in this position to have that second seed. Harvath with a little frustration with himself right there as he lets one get away.
We're going to see the coach go out and talk to the pitcher here for a hot second. So time has been called. We got a runner on, one away, and we are early part of the 6th inning here.
Now it makes me wonder kind of where we're at time limit wise as well, as far as when that first pitch kind of came out, and if we're going to end up going into a 7th inning or if we're going to be looking at 6. We've had a couple of different changes out here on the Rawlings Tigers side, but I feel like gameplay hasn't been slow.
It does feel like tempo's been pretty quick actually, because there's not been a ton of activity every single inning. You see a lot of zeros. Hit up the middle, stepped on second base there, thrown across for the double play.
And so Kilman handles that one all on his own.
So once again, we're seeing that weak hit ground ball handled for a double play. Always when you turn a ball that's not hit as hard out into the infield, you need to be a little quicker on your exchange times there to make that one happen, and we were able to manage that.
Absolutely, and Kilman, moving to his left and just really working right through the bag as he gloves that ball, just simply steps on second with his energy going right over to first. So a good double play right there for MacNSeitz, and again, Rawlings Tigers stranding one more. So they've got to be a little frustrated that they've been able to get runners on almost every inning, but not able to get anybody around and then over the plate, of course. But MacNSeitz here in good shape.
Yep. We're putting the ball in play, man. We've got 7 hits to their 1 to this point. So we're not looking at a no-hitter situation. They've managed to put 1 ball in play so far. You know, I like the way that sort of plays out. You know, that shows us we're attacking the ball. We're not always getting our guys in. So the other side of that story is we're leaving a few stranded there. If there's 7 hits out there and only 2 runs on the board, then the math is pretty easy to figure out that we're leaving too many stranded.
Well, here in bottom of the 6, leading off for MacNSeitz will be Tucker Lee, followed by Brooks Carr. And so it's going to be 2 lefties back-to-back going up against a lefty up there on the hill.
Shadows are looking pretty cinematic through the camera lens here because we got the building, we got the catcher, we got the flagpole or light pole casting a shadow. So it's like it's pretty graphic down here through the camera lens, and I can't turn off that artist's eye right now. I'm watching a baseball game, but man, it's a pretty view through the camera right now.
Let's go, Todd!
Well, Hughes comes set up there on the hill. And delivers the first pitch strike to Tucker Lee.
There's that fastball. That's the one that Tuck's going to be looking to drive, you got to imagine. So he got a good look at that first one, got some good intel, sees how it comes out. Oh, misses the zone low. Kind of see the pitcher bending a little bit funky there, so you kind of good read on that one.
Interesting, he changed his position on the rubber.
Another one missing at the bottom part of the zone. And that seems to be the upper part of his velocity range there, that 74-mile-an-hour pitch. That's a good one for good velocity to be driving there out into the outfield for us.
Come on, 2-7!
Good swing on a good pitch there.
So big swing, no contact. That'll make it a 2-2 count. And now Parker Simons looks like he substituted in for Brooks Carr. Oh, he goes down swinging, and that'll be 1 out for the Rawlings.
So the off speed had him fooled and out over his toes, and it's one of those things you can't be angry if you're hunting fastball and you end up getting fooled on one of those. You don't want to miss that fastball in that count.
Well, definitely trying to make those adjustments on the fly, and that's why hitting is one of the most difficult things in all sports. But now, again, that is Parker Simons in for Brooks Carr.
Fresh legs, fresh eyes from the bench, and being real patient up there so far. Ooh, I slipped into a golf cast voice there for a second. Okay, 2-1 count.
2-1.
Well, Cooper McCowan waiting on deck. Nobody on.
Fastball upstairs.
And so Simon's patient so far, not a lot to hit. 3-1 count.
Pitcher's trying to get him to expand here in this situation, and Simons does a good job of not expanding. And the cat and mouse continues here. So Cooper McCowan with a single in his last at-bat to advance the runners. Looking to avoid the double play here, so ran into it in the last inning. We're trying to avoid running into it here, so
yeah, just a marginal lead over there at first. Well hit ball to center field, but he's able to collect that for out number 2.
Well hit ball, but another atom ball for us there, so good base running there. Modest lead and able to tag up, not able to advance as the play unfolded right behind second base there.
Well, Perkins with a nice line drive on his last at-bat. He's got to be thinking, man, I really saw the ball well. Had some solid contact, just in the wrong spot.
No go there. Catch again, feigning that throw to first, but we know he's not going to be back picking to first in this situation. Or at least you believe that he's not back picking to first in this situation. Catch tries to pick that one up, but it goes down as a ball.
So Perkins patient on the first 2 pitches. Simons taking his modest lead over there at first. Of course, Hughes a lefty. Really paying a lot of attention to the runner over there. Close matchup, right? And so they've got just one more chance. And so they really have to have a lot of attention and not let up any more runs this inning.
Should the ball get by the infield, they don't want this runner scoring here on something that's getting by. So they're not even really trying to make the out here. You can tell the first baseman's not really even applying the tag. They're just trying to keep him glued over there.
Well, and a lot of attention over at first, and unfortunately not a lot of attention at the plate. 4 pitches, 4 balls, and Harrison Perkins will make his way to first as Simons moves over to second.
Brings up big lefty and Miles Vaughn here. It's time for Miles to get hot and pick up a couple of RBIs in this situation. You've got to imagine with this pitcher's mix so far, you're going to see some heavy use of off speed here.
Ball in play, first baseman handles it. Runners will advance and Vaughn out at first.
Pitcher's able to move to cover and collect the out. So this brings us here to the second half of the 6th. Maybe the final half inning. I'm not sure on game time at the moment.
Yeah, what happened here? No, that moves us to top of the 7th.
Yes, you're right. I'm so sorry. I called it wrong there. That is me calling. It's top 7. So this is going to be the final inning of the contest here. And if we can hold them here, then we don't need to be swinging in the last half of this inning.
Well, Cooper Harvoth pitching a gem of a game so far with a shutout. And he's looking for a complete game right here as he'll start for the top of the 7th.
Not seeing any defensive substitutions out there of note. It looks like the way we set the stage for you at the beginning of the game is what we're seeing out there, except maybe right field. I guess the one substitution there that we did see would be Parker in right field for Brooks, but I think that's the only change we got, and I think we already let you know about that one.
Well, I tell you what, folks, a beautiful day for some baseball right here. You couldn't have better weather right now. Everybody out here enjoying the ballpark and a beautiful field over here at the Griffin Baseball Stadium. Home with the Griffins for the Missouri Western University.
We've said it before, man, we get to play in some beautiful fields. This one, no exception. This is quite a nice field out here.
Now, I like how you pointed out earlier the batter's eye out there. You know, a lot of the fields that they pay attention to so many details, but that one's such an important one when it comes to the actual gameplay.
Fouled off to the right side. That's Templeton in the box there, I believe. Yes, that is correct. Leading off for the Tigers there. So 0-1 is the count on the leadoff hitter.
Well, and he starts off with a single over the left side. Well, a good portion of the batting order for the Rawlings Tigers. Templeton batting in that 2-hole. That's going to bring up number 8, Leiter.
It's their catcher hitting in the 3 spot here. So we got a runner on. You got to imagine you're going to see. I'm anticipating a steal here, potentially even a bunt in a 2-run game. Are we swinging or are we moving that runner? One way or another, you're probably going to see either a hit and run or a bunt here because they want that runner on second with no outs right now.
You bet. You can see kind of positionally where Perkins is at, ready to take that throw.
You can see Boston playing in front of the bag as well, creeping up into that cutout just a little bit there. Second base playing deep, though, so we got a little bit of a...
Another one's going to get down right side.
Comes up with it. So 2 runners on real quick here in the beginning part of this inning.
Well, that runner on first would represent the tying run, so the go-ahead run out at home plate. That is going to be their cleanup hitter, number 14, Evans. And so Evans, the starting pitcher, looking to help himself out a little bit here and try to get the Rawlings Tigers back into this one.
So a little coach and player interaction there as he's coming into the box, giving him the sense of what he wants him to do here. 72-mile-an-hour fastball misses on the outside edge there.
Well, that elicited a A couple of oohs and ahs from the MacNSeitz faithful. This one right over to Townsend. Keeps it in front of him.
Comes down with it. So thrown across to the first baseman, Valdez, who comes up with one out of that play. So,
well, the Tigers are able to advance the runners over to second and third, so not a bad effort for Evans. And now Coach Jake Sawyer wanting to talk about things as he takes a little mound visit.
So again, with one away, we got a bunt defense conversation that needs to happen right here because we could be looking at a sack bunt situation, some sort of squeeze play happening here. Like there's a couple different ways that they can get that run in right now with only one away. They're going to be willing to trade an out for a run in this situation if they have to, but I got to imagine they're going to try to score two to get level here. So they got a great spot in their batting order for a big hitter potentially, on paper anyway. And a lot of times, these are also the guys that can lay down that bunt when necessary.
Well, and you're going to bring up big number 10, Fitzpatrick. Took some big cuts in his last at-bat. Ended up out over his toes on a bad swing, but you got to figure this one has a little bit of power. So will that bunt come into play, or is he going to be free swinging and swinging away?
Well, there we get our answer. He's free swinging, pops it up to the right side. And the runner tags and goes. Play possible. No, ball gets away from Satterwhite, so the run will score for their first run to get across for the Tigers. They do trade a run for an out there, so we got two away.
So Fitzpatrick doing a job right there with a sac fly. They had two down. MacNSeitz needing just one more out to win this ball game.
Yeah, gotta imagine you're gonna see away from the zone here. Good dig by Reed Satterwhite to keep that ball in front of him. But I gotta imagine Cooper's not throwing too much in the heart of the plate for this particular at bat. Keep it small, keep them working, and make them fight to get that ball in play. Popped up.
So shortstop Kilman calling for it.
And hauls it in for the win.
And so MacNSeitz coming up with a big win right here, folks. Very exciting for them as they're going to go into the championship game here tomorrow.
Yeah, that is a semifinal win, the first of our summer season, and our first championship bracket for the summer.
Well, that's exciting stuff. We saw some good things. We didn't have quite the offensive run production today that we've had in the past couple of games, but we got it where we had those opportunities. We were able to get guys across, and most importantly, even when we had runners on, we found our ways out of those innings.
Yeah, and the Rawlings Tigers stayed true to form, keeping it a really low-scoring game. You saw we had two relatively high-scoring games for us in the last two games here. A lot of runs across the plate, and this time struggling to scratch out two. And this game ends in a 2-1 win for MacNSeitz.
I'll tell you what, folks, we are going to be back in action at the championship for the Missouri Western Showdown. Once again, out here at Missouri Western, home of the Griffins. We're going to be playing at 11:15 against the MacNSeitz 15U Gray. So our boys giving up that 1 year advantage in age and development. So that'll be an interesting game, an all MacNSeitz affair, and we'll hope to see you guys back here again.
Yeah, we hope to continue our defense and offensive production here that we've got there, and hopefully we can make a inter-squad match that's worthy of driving on this way. I'm playing on this beautiful big field out here.
Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow here at 11:15. If you can't join us at the ball field, join us on our YouTube channel at MacNSeitz 15U. That's all for tonight.
All right, thanks again for